What's going on? This is my open spoiler review for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I really like this movie, but to start off, it has two beginnings, and it throws me off because you have a beginning of the story, and then you get a different point of view of the beginning of the story. And then you get into the middle of the story, and then everyone lies to the main character. And then towards the end, he figures out that everyone's been lying to him, and then that he's gonna have to lose a loved one, and then he's gonna have to just be okay with it. And of course, he's not. Everyone's lied to him. Everyone's this like. Of course, he's not going to be okay with it. Of course, he's going to react in a way that he's going to do whatever he can to save his father, even if that means breaking a canon event. Now, I feel like the storytellers gave us a great idea of what a canon event is, but they didn't give a good job of giving it to Miles. And even with the great visuals that they show for us about the canon event, it also gives me confusion because can each character have more than one event? Miles's event was losing his uncle in the first movie, and now it says that he has to lose his dad. Okay, so that's two canon events. And then for a live action Andrew Garfield, we see his canon event is losing Captain Stacy. So does that mean he could have saved Uncle Ben? Does that mean he could have saved Gwen? Or are all of those his canon events? Same thing with Toby. We see his canon event is, of course, losing Uncle Ben. I mean, that's just obvious. But then could he have saved Harry? It's just a question. Is losing Harry a canon event, or could he have saved them? For Andrew, was it losing just Captain Stacy, or could he have saved Uncle Ben and Gwen, or did he have to lose both of those characters? And I guess it's just a question for someone who goes after those cameos. Cameos were great. Seeing Spectacular Spider-Man, it's just such a fun feeling because I used to watch that Saturday morning cartoons. Like, I just bought the DVD of the complete series over the summer just a couple months ago, and not to see him in a live a animated movie that was in theaters, having Sony recognize him after so many fans were just saying, "We want season 3. This is the best show we ever had." And you know, and then that stuff was fun. And even with all the cameos, I wanted more. I wanted to see the new animated Spider-Man. I wanted to see the '90s Spider-Man, and the whatever, the ultimate Spider-Man, and the unlimited Spider-Man show. Like, oh, they have all these shows. I just wanted everyone to show up. And some of them have done multiverse stuff, so it made perfect sense. These, anyone there was just phenomenal. You get the cat. Obviously, we got Spider Ham in the last one. We got the dinosaur. So we got all kinds of weird, funky Spider Man. We got the knight. We got the web shooters. Like, we got all kinds of Spider Man, and every single cameo though was fun. Ben Riley was the main one, which is crazy. Like, they would have Spider Man's clone as one of like the main cameos that they constantly show was great. And I feel like they really knew what the fans wanted. They knew they wanted a live action Prowler with that character because of Spider-Man Homecoming. They knew we wanted to see Toby and Andrew because that's hot. They know we want Spider-Man 4 and we want Amazing Spider-Man 3. They Sony really knows. Like, they knew that we love Spectacular Spider-Man. We want season 3. Now, they may not be able to give us Spectacular Spider-Man 3, but they can show him in this movie in such a way that would be fulfilling for fans and would also bring up more hype for Sony projects? Would they, and then it just opens it up. For every one of these cameos, they can say, hey, I want a spectacular Spider-Man movie. Or let's give us Spider-Man 4, or Amazing Spider-Man 3. It was just a brilliant marketing play for people to say, I want more Spider-Man. And who doesn't want more Spider-Man? Um, a solo Spider-Man 2099 movie. Who wouldn't want that? They even did a small bit with his origin story, but we didn't get the full thing. Not like Peter B. Parker, not like Miles, not like Gwen, not like Spider Ham or Spider Man Norm. For this guy to be such a main character, we got less of his backstory in this movie than we did some of the characters in the original movie. Now, I feel I liked the original movie a little bit more. It was more contained. I feel that it's also a better family movie where you can get the multiverse stuff in that movie, where in this movie you have to really be paying attention. And for some people who aren't as big as a nerd or a geek as I am, may not understand why this multiverse stuff is happening or what a canon event is. And most people who went to go see this movie didn't go watch Loki or are confused about certain stuff. And I think it did a good job at explaining it to the audience. But there are people who are going to get confused, and this movie doesn't complicate things, but it also takes what they did in the first movie and expand it by like 10. So I feel if they love the first movie and can understand the first movie, they'll like this movie, but they may get confused. If someone who got really confused in the first movie, good luck trying to watch this one. This one's gonna blow your mind away, and probably not in a good way. Um, I can't really remember. I just keep going. I can't really remember what I've been talking about. Um, Family stuff, of course. Family stuff was very important in the first movie, and I think it's definitely still here in the second movie. You can still feel the love of the mom and the dad. The grounding stuff is funny. The stuff that he just can't come out and say, "Mom, Dad, I'm Spider-Man," and it's so obvious. It makes perfect sense. Um, I don't know. The new characters were great, really fun. Um, Mayday Parker, she was adorable. May Parker, Mayday Parker. I loved that. I loved the cute littleness, especially at the end where Peter B. Parker is like, "All right, but don't tell your mom," and she like grabs her mask and pulls it over her face as for Spider-Man. It's so adorable. I wonder if they'll do like a speed up version. Maybe they'll do like a spin-off where we see her as an adult. I don't know if they'll actually ever do that, but they have so much other stuff. They have the Jessica Drew. They could always do a Silk. I think Amazon's doing a Silk TV show. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but we got so much more Spider-Man stuff. We got Kraven the Hunter coming out. We got Madam Web supposedly still coming out. Spider-Man fans are gonna be really happy. It's unfortunate we have to wait maybe 5 more years for the part two to come out, and I think that's what hurt this movie so much is that it's part one. I've already mentioned that I didn't like the double beginning. So in this movie alone, we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But this is part one, so this is also a beginning and half of a middle. We still have to see the middle and the end of the story. So I feel like that's really suffers. There's 3 beginnings in here. There's 2 middles and there's only 1 end. And we don't even get to see the end of the story. And we might not see it for another 5 years. And I feel like that's also a huge bummer. But there's nothing you can do about it. There's some behind the scenes stuff that people are trying to work out. Yeah, but this is fun. I love Sony. I love what they're doing with their multiverse. And for a nerd like me who's a big collector, it also gives me more of a like privilege to collect the animated stuff because it all means something. Collecting Spectacular Spider-Man, the complete series, only has 2 seasons, but somehow, just because of that, it's now part of this bigger animated live action multiverse. And I think Sony and Marvel, just with these movies, are already so successful and gonna be so much better. And I can literally just keep going on and on about this movie and the next movie. So I'm just gonna call it there. Please like and subscribe